So good to have you back. We will be having a top discussion this evening. And joining us to do justice to our discuss this evening, two gentlemen that would light up the political space here in the studio this evening. And we have by my right, Elder Comrade Esau Basiedem, Chairman, Coalition of APC Support Groups here in Cross River State. Elder, good evening. So good to have you on the show.
Good evening. God bless you.
Thank
good
you.
Evening, Cross.
Thank you very much. And by my left, I have Ambassador Joe Ase. He's the Assistant Secretary General, PDP, Cross River State. Joe, good to have you. Joe.
Same here. Good evening.
All right. All right, so gentlemen, let's quickly start with the party politics. We noticed last week there have been massive gale of defections in Nigeria. We saw what happened in Zamfara State. We also saw what happened here in our dear state Cross River, just the back of CRBC here. We had a lot of people moving from one political party to the other. So let me start with the chairman coalition of APC support groups. Let's look at this part, this girl of defections in Nigeria. What do you think could be the major cause of moving from one party to the other, and also moving from this other one back to the other?
Well, defection is a general phenomenon. Everybody is entitled to their opinion and where to belong to, as provided by the Constitution of Nigeria that talks about freedom of movement and association. So a lot of people have their political ideologies and philosophies. So in most cases, where you are no more comfortable with the political ideology and philosophy of a certain party, it is your right to move. And also believe that in the area where maybe your political aspiration is not likely going to be made possible in party A, you can cross to party B. We've had some persons who contested elections in their former party. They were deprived. They went to other political parties and they won the primaries and the general election. So it is a normal thing in political party and in politics in general for one to leave a particular political party. You can even be a foundation member of that party. Then you move to where you think you can align well with their school of thought, ideology, and philosophy. I think that and many more are the reasons why people are moving from one party to the other. And don't also rule out admiration. Some people may be admiring or may be in love with the activities of the other party, either in government or out of government. Like in my party, we've had series of people crossing from the other political parties to my party because they believe that my party is more truthful. Talk about the All Progressives Congress, APC, is more truthful and ready with the political willingness to do what they promise the masses. So in that principle, you see a lot of people rushing to join my party,
excellent,
the APC.
Okay, now, we heard from Elder Esau Basiedem. Now, but let's look at this. We know the issue of lack of ideology is one, but we see this cross-carpeting from PDP to APC, from APC to and other political parties. Is it really healthy for Nigerian politics?
Well, you see, the fact remains the fact. Nigerian politicians are basically Nigerian politicians. And their interest is what orientation they had gotten prior to their registration into political parties. And also, while in the political parties, the orientation about how to be a politician in Nigeria. Okay? Now, first things first is that in Nigeria, the first orientation we have is to say that politics is about personal interest. That's where our problem is. My friend has said so much about admiration, but I believe that going through the school of how to become a successful politician in Nigeria, the primary education is personal interest. That's why you see in our gatherings, you will hear politics is interest. And interest is your personal interest. But the truth remains consistent. Personal interest is the problem of the Nigerian politics. The Nigerian politics would have grown beyond where it is right now if we had thought about the people over us. As a politician, the first thing you think is, I want to be a politician, I want to be in the House of Reps or the Senate, or I want to be president of Nigeria so that I can have a name. Second, so that I can favor a particular set of people who are my friends or who are from my region and all of that. So that has been our major problem in the Nigerian politics. That is why you see defection every day. If we play the politics of ideology, like people in the Western or in the more developed societies, you will be thinking about the ideology of those who formed that political party. A typical example is in America, where you have the conservatives, you have Democrats, and other political parties.
Republicans.
Republicans and all of that. Now, they have their ideology, and they work as representatives of their people based on the ideology of the people from a particular area. I cannot come from Calabar, and then my own perception of representing my people should be for me to come and be killing dog. No, that is a delicacy. That is not the ideology. The ideology should be moving Calabar from a mere coastal region of southern Nigeria to a hub where people can come and do business, where sheep will bathe, where people will come and buy and export from our rivers. So my first thought should be how to attract federal government presence, how to attract investors to dredge my river so that vessels can bathe and my people will be engaged in business. That should be my priority. Second should be infrastructural development of my people. And then I should be thinking of basic amenities as first principle. But that is not the position of our politicians, of those of us in politics. My friend and I are all politicians, I cannot pretend. That is usually not the position. The position has always been, let me become a governor. When I become governor, I will give you commissioner. When I become governor, I'll make road to Ukele. When I become governor, but those are not the priorities that we should put before. I think what should be afore is how our people will first benefit. And then we now think, who will be the person to be able to deliver this from our political party? This is our ideology. Our ideology is to wear suit in the morning and wear agbada in the evening. Who can do this for us? And then we can go through the primary elections and whatever procedures and say, okay, the best person for this is Joseph Inyang. Give it to him. He can represent us. And one thing that has killed our politics in Nigeria is poverty. I want to be a president because I want to make money. In America, let me make a typical example of America. You don't give a president of America to somebody who is poor. You check his status, his financial standing. From his financial standing, you can begin to think whether he can lead the people of America. When you see that it is possible for him to lead the people of America without selfish interest first, you can begin to canvass for him to be president or a representative of a political party. That is what we do not have here. And narrowing it down to Cross River State, my brother, we have come to the point where it is the highest bidder who can pay more to his college, because we do college election, which is what we call the primary election. And it is more or less who is the highest bidder. Who pays Elder Idem more is who will get Elder Idem. But thank God I know him, he's very decent. He doesn't get bought off. Who pays Joe Inyang more is who Joe Inyang will vote on the election day. And that is our problem. That is why we have this gale of defection. You are here, the policy of who pays more is not favoring you. You are looking for where you can pay less and get what you would have gotten from the side. You jump.
Okay, let me quickly cross over to Elder. Elder, sorry, then let's look at you, because you raised the issue of admiration. Now, one would ask, some people have been in a particular party for like 10, 15, 16 years, for instance, that of the PDP at the national level, so to say, but suddenly they lost that admiration for the party that brought them to light. What would be responsible for such sudden divorce from your party that kept you for 16 years, you benefited from the party, and suddenly the party has become what I would say strange spouse. Yes. So, and you see some of them will start hitting very hard on the party that brought them to light. So let's get your thought on that.
Thank you very much. Like I talked about admiration. Admiration is all encompassing in politics. You can talk about admiration for truth and sincerity, commitment and political will on doing things, getting things done by, as in, you focus more with the action and not words. For example, one of those, a major PDP man that defected from PDP to APC, gave reasons that he has been a foundation member of PDP, and he was in the train for campaigns in Nigeria. They went to Southeast in late 1998, promised the people of Southeast, having considered the importance of Second Niger Bridge. When they made mention of Second Niger Bridge, that it will be constructed when they vote PDP, the entire chieftains of PDP, the traditional rulers from the Southeast, were like, wow, you are going to bring succor to our problem. That for 16 years, not even a trip of sand was kept there. A trip of sand. And having considered the billions of naira that were voted for that project, that at minimum formed the reason why he left.
But would there be a difference? Would there be a difference now that he has gone to APC?
Let me learn. Okay, I'm talking about admiring the truth.
Okay, fine.
That Buhari is not the kind, he doesn't have that oratory prowess, so to say. He talked less. That is not, he doesn't even speak big grammar. But that Second Niger Bridge is about 70 to 75% completed by a party that the Indigbos do not even have time with, and not even loyal to, but has put that in. He finished there. He came to Cross River State. He talked about Cross River State. That before you talk about industrializing a state like Cross River, there must not be a capped bridge from the entry point, so as to enable the cargo trucks to pass unhindered, because the then colonially constructed bridge at Ikom was hindering the industrialization of Cross River State, because all these tall cargo trucks cannot pass there. That His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari has started with the first step indices for the industrialization of Cross River State in full glare by giving the ultra-modern uncapped bridge at Ikom, whereby even no matter how tall the cargo truck is, definitely it will pass there without having any issue. And with the awarding of contract for the construction of the Calabar-Itu Road and the ongoing Sukuk-sponsored road project at Calabar-Ikom-Ogoja Road, it means there is sincerity and few other things that the president is doing. Like today, Nigeria has never had this kind of, from the inception of the First Republic, the railway system that we are enjoying today. We have never had it. The biggest railway in Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. That is the biggest in the entire Africa. That his former party promised all this. The leadership is not all about you saying, I will do this. You promised heaven and earth. And at the end of the day, nothing is on ground.
So that was why he left.
That is the reason he left. And so many others who have left PDP to APC. I admire either one thing or the other. In the present administration, let me also limit it to Cross River State. Few days ago, hardworking foundation key sponsors of PDP. When I say key sponsors, most of the people you see or you hear make noise about PDP today, they were never in PDP from its inception. PDP had its honors in Cross River State. So those who use their personal monies to finance and sponsor PDP left PDP a few days ago. Because they say in Cross River State, APC, led by His Excellency Senator Professor Ntufan Barrister Sir Ben Ayade, is truthful to what Cross Riverians believe in. Talk about rotational politics. It is unconstitutional, please don't get me wrong. It is unconstitutional, but definitely fundamentally, rotational politics has gone into the DNA of an average voting Nigerian. Cross River State as a case study. So His Excellency, the governor of Cross River State, has been singing it that the governorship is coming to the south. And to the admiration of those in PDP, we had thousands of them crossing to APC. And more called yesterday. Please, we should give them dates. Okay. They are crossing in their thousands.
Okay, let me bring in Ambassador Joyce. You are the Assistant Secretary of your party at the state level. Let me get to react to the admirations, the debate, so to say, that is attracting your members to the All Progressives Congress. Let's get your reactions on that.
Okay, you see, ordinarily I thought we were here to analyze politics, but I've seen that my brother Elder already saw it. He's interested in talking party politics, and let us be very sincere. I will start from his first position, admiration. If you say there's a party to admire in Nigeria, it should be the PDP. Antecedents are clear. From 1999 till 2014, even early 2015. What we have today as banditry, as terrorism in the southeast, according to the government of President Muhammadu Buhari, and all of those things were not there. We had a decent Nigeria. We had a secure Nigeria. Not until the same President Muhammadu Buhari, in a public broadcast with his colleagues, said they will make Nigeria ungovernable for the PDP-led government of then President Goodluck Jonathan Ebele. And Nigeria started nosediving in the insecurity that we have finally found ourselves today. The southeast, the south-south was the most peaceful region in Nigeria, if not in Africa. Today, we are experiencing what we cannot manage. Since this is the second year, since 2019, in Cross River, in this Calabar, that we could walk with our phones held high at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., we are still experiencing curfew. 2 years after, we are in curfew. As we speak now, we have to hurry and leave the studio so that we are not caught by the curfew because of a government that has failed us in insecurity. Let us check the high cost of commodities in the market, the economy of Nigeria. How much did you buy rice in 2015, March? And how much are you buying rice in December 2021? Let us be very limited to things that are concerning us for now. Rice for Christmas. Let us look at diesel. Diesel today is AGU is 400 naira per liter when we're buying diesel 23 naira. Let us look at the things that have brought us to protest over time. The NSAS issue. I know APC people have a way of saying it is tied to police brutality. Hello, was it only police brutality? There are so many things we can point at. Let us look at the hardship. For the first time in history, the giant of Africa has been demoted to the point where it is now addressed as the headquarters of poverty in the world. How much is dollar? Day before yesterday, I went to buy dollar, and dollar is sold for 611 naira. Dollar!
to naira, the same dollar that in 2014, this same President Muhammadu Buhari promised Nigeria that it will be equal to naira. You are buying it today for 600 naira for $1. 600 plus. Let us come to the reality of life. Joe, in sincerity, if you talk of admiration, I'm not putting you on the spot. When you go home, ask your darling wife and your beautiful children what they prefer. Whether this suffering that you, as I speak now, I'm sure you have not bought Christmas clothes for your children. And that you that used to buy Christmas clothes beforehand because there is no circulation of money. You know why? There's no payment of salary. Come to Cross River. For the past 7 or 8 years, we have not received, civil servants in pension have not, as pensioners have not received gratuity.
But you remember, part of them, he was a PDP governor. So we have
No.
two sides.
When today they come to tell us that the APC is a good government, we smile at what they're saying.
So in your take, there should be no admiration at all for the APC. That your party is
How do
doing
you
better.
admire a political party that tells you that the moment you leave where you were to where you are, or to where they are, you become sin-free? And then Jesus Christ. Okay. It is only Jesus. Hold on, sir. Don't cut me short. It is only Jesus Christ that gave his blood, and he shed his blood. God gave his only begotten Son. Jesus shed his blood for sinners. And even yet unborn, they were cleansed. How can you tell me that you belong to a political party that cleans a man? First, you have equated yourself with the Lord Jesus Christ. Second, you have abused the naturality of human sense, natural consciousness, that a man who steals money today, tomorrow is cleared of that crime because he has changed a political platform. Not his lifestyle, a political platform. Let me also address the issue.
No.
I need to interject.
Okay, let me
You have
let
the political party issues.
Sorry, sir. I wish to observe you.
Okay.
No, don't observe
I
me.
wish to observe
I did not
you.
observe
Sorry,
you.
sir.
Let's just allow you.
Utmost respect.
Just allow him.
Respect.
Okay, Joe, just round off your thought. Let's.
You talk of people moving because one political party does not respect one thing and the other one respects the other thing. For crying out loud. A political party in Cross River State that has zoned all its appointments that are major, and all Edimiso, my brother, elder, is due to be the chairman of APC in Cross River State. Ask him whether he is not. This is the same man that is placed on an appointment of 30,000 naira from a local government. And another man who just left my political party to join them because, going back to what I said initially, their personal interest, their greed, has now been made chairman, deputy chairman, secretary, and the rest. When a man who has fought, I wish His Excellency the Governor and the leaders of APC can hear me clearly that this man, my friend, we left school together. He was in economics, I was in political science, the same faculty. He had been very ardent with opposition, especially in the APC. He deserves to be a commissioner at the least of it all, if not a governor of a state, if not a political party state chairman. He's relegated to the position of a local government appointment of 30,000 naira a month. And because he wants to sell his presence here so that his people will not think that he's a bad person. He's telling me of Orok, who is a former deputy speaker, and I'm telling you that I have someone like Dominic Akwa, that is also a former deputy speaker of the House of Assembly.
So
he's telling me of people who do not have capacity. When I'm talking of people like B.O.B., Basio Tubasi, I'm talking of people of integrity, people of party capacity. A former deputy governor aspirant and a former state chairman of party like
Joe, just hold your thoughts. Let me get him to quickly do a rejoinder in some seconds.
He has to do a rejoinder.
I wish to correct some information that you have passed, so that maybe especially those who were not aware or matured enough to know the fact as of then will not be misled by my brother. when he said South was the most peaceful. Most of the things he said are untrue. One, it was in early 2000 when His Excellency President Olusegun Obasanjo was the president that we had unrest in the Niger Delta, precisely Ogoni, where he never created any platform for negotiation or dialogue, talk less of conciliation or reconciliation. The only action he took was sending military to go and raise the entire community. Where even
I think a situation where a military personnel or military personnel are killed, people who were sent by the government to protect a particular area were killed. We expect the military and the federal government to further arm so that the remaining forces will be killed.
It's all move on.
Let me land on that.
Cannot happen that one.
It was in that era that incident took place. That I think China sang in his music. That is one. Two.
No, it was Chimaya.
It is also a very.
It was Chimaya that sang.
It is also a misinformation to say that insecurity started in APC era. No.
Insecurity became worse when APC started.
I am informing the public.
Okay, go ahead.
When you talk about insecurity, Yusuf, the leader, founder of Boko Haram, was killed sometime in 2009. APC was not the president in power then.
That's misinformation to the public. That's misinformation.
That is true. Number three, when you talk about corruption stealing, it is still in Nigeria that my then president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, told Nigerians in a nationally broadcasted event that stealing is not corruption. And when you sit here to try to vilify a government that came, a party that took over government on the premise of fighting corruption, whereby its sitting leaders, former governors, Joshua Dariye, other former governors, are in prison for corruption cases. Reverend Jolie Nyamet, former governor of Taraba State. Now, there is more sincerity in the APC government than PDP.
Okay, so
let me conclude by saying
that. Okay.
Let me conclude by saying that PDP took time to destroy the economy of Nigeria. How? PDP took over power on the 29th of May 1999 with a lot of producing companies and industries like the Jakarta Iron Mill, the Pan Company in Kaduna. Name them. You know the companies that were making Nigeria the giant of Africa. PDP took them to kill all those industries and practice what we call in economy monocultural economy. Monocultural economy is a deadly disease, cancerous, and a taboo to a developing nation like Nigeria. PDP took them to concentrate only on oil economy that drove Nigeria to where it is now. Instead of being giant of Africa, Nigeria became not a Peking of Africa. In 2012, let me remind my brother, I left the office of the head of the civil service of the Federation. In 2012, as I stepped out to enter Ministry of Education, I was stopped by some journalists, I think TV Africa also. Because that was when the World Bank said that Nigeria has 100 million destitute, that's poor people. And in my response during that interview, I said,
in what year?
That was 2012. I told them in my response that if World Bank that lends us money, that knows our financial status, could come out to say that Nigeria has 100 million poor people, it means they are correct. We do not have the moral justification to argue with them because they own us financially, so they know our status. So it is a taboo for anybody to come today to say APC plunged Nigeria into poverty. When the records are
Okay,
there.
Elder Adam, let me find out something from you. Let me still stick with you, I think, because we're having a very interesting conversation here, and I want us to get this clear, because we're looking at the girl of defections in Nigeria. To be very honest, because you're a man that has integrity, would you say, aside the admirations that you've raised, stands you've raised, don't you also see some sense of selfishness in some of the defectors, whether going to party A or party B?
Politics is a game, and it is your personal drive to drive yourself, because you are the pilot in the vehicle of politics. First, to drive yourself to where your aspiration will be met. So, if the people defecting today, apart from admiring the pro-masses policies of APC, apart from that, secondly, if they see APC to be the party with the best political ideology and philosophy, where their political aspiration to serve will be met, you cannot stop them.
So are you ruling out selfishness from that, from these defections?
Don't use selfishness. Say interest. When you say interest, it is a globalized, accepted arrangement.
Okay.
But when you say selfishness, you are
let me help you.
differently.
Okay.
Let me salvage you.
Okay.
You know, I started first now.
You are a PDP man, and then your party has a constitution that before one defects to another party, there must have been issues in your party. Joe, some people defected some days back, on Thursday precisely, to the All Progressives Congress. What is happening in your political party that made them to defect?
Let me
Why are they running away?
let me first tell you something. That
Ben.
Just less than a fortnight ago,
Okay.
we had tsunami of people moving from APC to the PDP.
Where?
Dimeso,
Where?
my brother, is aware of it.
Yeah.
Where in the night?
That we had someone like Honorable Lekpo Okon. We had someone like Honorable Dominic Akwaidem. We had someone like Chief Basi Otubasi, and a lots of them moving to the PDP. And even yesterday, we had people leaving APC to the PDP. Even yesterday.
Why is it secret?
And I'm
Please.
sure that, no, it's not secret, it's in the public view.
We did our own. The whole world saw it. You saw
And,
it. You even admired it. The crowd.
He said you are married.
He admired the crowd.
we cannot admire people
You
who
admired
are
the crowd that you saw.
Okay, but tell me.
He vindicated all I said in my first statement, that it is first selfish interest, which is not supposed to be.
But he says you should not call it selfish. You should call it.
No,
you
he
should call it interest.
naturally said it is selfish interest.
Personally,
He said personally driven interest. That
Okay.
is selfish
That-
interest.
okay.
Okay. And now, away from what he said, when you talk about defection, the PDP has received more. In a state where you have,
against 18 local government
in
chairman.
a state where you have a serving governor moving from a party that won election and gave it to him to run to another political party, and you still have commissioners, House of Assembly members, those are very critical officers, people who are in his immediate cabinet, leaving him to go and saying we are not coming. That alone is bigger than the regular defection. And then you still have people in all the 18 local governments of Cross River State. People have moved. Those who were in PDP, APC to PDP. Those who were in PDP originally refused to move with the government. And let me state this emphatically. The governor, yes, moved with some value,
A lot of
but
values.
left empty.
A lot of values.
Left empty. You know why? A state where a governor is not in a party, and that party has 90% of the National Assembly members. That is where politics is played. This is beyond plain politics of personal interest. This is being politically analytical.
But, Joe, I needed to answer my question.
state where
Joe, I needed to answer my question. Remember, the question was your political party, the PDP, has clearly stated in the Constitution that for you to leave, to defect, there must have been crisis in the party. What is a crisis in your party that has made people move?
You are making me say what I had said.
Okay.
That people are moving for selfish interests.
Okay. So there's no crisis in your party?
My party is one. I am the state assistant secretary of PDP. And I am telling you as a state officer of the party that my party is together. There is no division anywhere. Ask all of them in the APC. Like he said, one of the defectees or defectors left in the name that zoning was in his favor. Has my party come out? My chairman and I were sitting side by side today in an event. Did my party at any point, or has my party up to this second I'm sitting with you talking, come to say that we have refused to respect zoning? It is only aspirants from different places that are saying we don't honor zoning. And my chairman, Honorable Barrister Venasio Sikam, has maintained his position that, look, this issue of zoning is too fragile and we cannot delve into it. Besides, he has consistently told us in our ESCO meetings to hold on to our constitution. The party constitution of the People's Democratic Party is clear of zoning or rotation.
So, Joe, absolutely,
so
because of time, I just have to bring this to an end, but that means you're telling us that there is no crisis in the PDP making them to defect.
There's no crisis from the wards in Obanliku to the wards in Bakassi and to the state ESCO.
Okay, so let me get your concluding thought, please, in 10 seconds. What to look at this girl of defections as a party man? I had asked him that question. Do you think it's healthy for Nigeria, for Nigerian politics?
It is. A lot of the defectors, especially those who defected from PDP to APC, have come to serve. Because politics first.
So they were not serving in the other party?
I'm coming. They were not given opportunity.
Okay.
In PDP, like they have told us, we were not there. They came and told us. In PDP, when you are given the responsibility, especially in contract, they say, my friend, don't do that contract, bring money, let us eat, which is what we've been experiencing.
Sorry, I'd like to cut you there. A party does not give contract. It is the government. And the government of Ben Ayade has not given any member of our party any contract. The government of President Muhammadu Buhari has not given any member of our party any contract. The government or the leadership of the Cross River State House of Assembly of Eteng Jones, Right Honorable Eteng Jones, has not given any member of my party any contract. The local government chairman of the 18 local government in Cross River State has not given any member of my party any contract.
When you were at the shadows of many elections, you were busy giving contract and asking people to bring the money.
We were
putting money aside.
And there was nothing like that.
Okay, let's get this. Let's get this. Let's try to round up the thought. Okay, let's round up the thought. So, Joe, let's get your parting words on this party politics and girl of defections in 10 seconds. Let's get your party in short.
They have less than 2,000 members in Cross River State.
Are you sure that? Okay, so go ahead. Let's get your party words. It's all holding on to it.
On the issues of party politics and the girl of defection, I want to emphatically tell you here right now that the most populous party, the only party that has won elections since 1990 today, that has not lost any single election in Cross River State, is the PDP. Any single election till today.
There is a bonus election in
the only political party.
You are misinforming the public.
That the only political party that has kept Cross River State to the point where we were celebrated as the best state in Nigeria is the PDP. Not until today that even you, Joe, cannot host people who came into Nigeria or Cross River for carnival. That the only political party that has maintained decorum. Our secretariat was invaded because they could not take it. It was invaded and the law has caught up with them. They cannot even operate from there. A political party like APC that has 4 secretariats in Calabar. Come and talk to a political party like Cross River.
Gentlemen, I think we just have to. Elder, I think this is where we want to bring the show to an end. It's been 2,000 members.
Well, let me tell you, from the last political census, Cross River State vote was about 1.5 million naira. I mean, 1.5 million voters.
Okay, so
and PDP had about 1.3 million.
How did
I
you
wonder
determine
where
how
APC
did you-
Okay.
I wonder where APC
Please,
Gentlemen,
are
I
we
think
to find out
this is where we want
how
to
do
bring
you
the show.
determine
This is the thing,
benefit
Elder Isa,
of,
thank you very much. This is
thank
where we want to bring the show to an end.
We are
It's
receiving
been
your people again.
it's been a matter of thank you, gentlemen.
It's effective tomorrow.
It's been
It's effective.
I cannot move.
it's been a matter of crossfire this
100%
evening. Joe, thank you very much. Ambassador Joe Ise, Assistant Secretary General, PDP State, Cross River State. Thank you for your time on the show, Ambassador Joe Ise. And Elder Comrade Esau Basedam. It's been fire all through. Chairman, Coalition of APC support groups here
Thanks
in
so
Cross
much.
River
Who deserves to be in a
State.
situation like me?
So guys, that's our show tonight. Weekend Politics will be back by next week Sunday. My name is Joseph Ian. Good night.